Hi guys, it's Jake from Canadian Cutting Edge, and today we've got an unboxing to do. I can hardly wait. I've got some of the new Ganzos on order that I'm waiting for. I suspect this is not, I suspect this is not the very latest ones, but we'll see. Ha ha ha! I have been waiting for this for a while. I got it as soon as I could. And so I'll be doing a review of this knife once I've had it for a few days. Check that out. That's a nice big blade. It's a flipper. Might need just a few. That was the very first flip attempt. So it'll get lubed up a little bit. I'm sure the lubrication in there hasn't worked itself around very much yet. I want to do one good flip before I... Haha! There you go. Check out this knife. I like that texture that they got down there. I'm going to use this knife for a week or so, and then I'll do a review. This will be the intro to the review. I've decided to do the unboxing, first impressions, and then the review all in one video. Hopefully I can get it down to about 10 minutes. I hope. This is an awesome looking knife. Nice thin light G10. Hopefully it's light, not weighs very much. The liners are thinner than they've been in the past. I hope they're skeletonized. We'll find out. And with that thin G10, this is not a heavy knife. I think Ganzo is definitely changing their game up a little bit and getting much more competitive. They were super competitive with the price for quite a while already. Well, since their existence, they've been competitive with the price. Now they're becoming super competitive with the weight. And way to go, Ganzo. So here we go. The G749. I like this stonewash. I've always liked Ganzo stonewash. Stick around. Right after the break, you'll see the review of this knife. I am so excited about this knife. I've had it for a while now, played with it, enjoyed it. This is a really nice knife. Let's begin by doing a little comparison first. What we've got here is a Rat 1 by Ontario. And I'm going to try to line up the pivot points like that pretty well. And you can see it's a smaller knife. The handle's a little bit shorter. The blade's a bit shorter. Whoa, I'm a little off screen here. And you'll see that the size is very much the same. This is the 728. It's an assisted flipper. Not very common by Ganzo. By the way, before I get too far, yes, there's the 750. I'll be recording the review for this knife and posting it probably the day after the 749. This stonewash blade, just like all the other stonewash stuff by Ganzo, I really, really like it a lot. By the way, that scar right there was not a knife, and that's a cut that happened, I don't know, about 30 years ago. It's a fish hook. That was a fun day fishing. Okay, the knife here. So here's the sizes. We've got a blade stock that is 0.13 inches thick. That's 3.3 millimeters. The cutting edge is 3.5 inches long. That's from that point right there by the tip of my pen up to the tip of the blade. 8.9 centimeters, 3.5 inches. When we open the knife, we've got 8.5 inches from the tip of the back of the handle to the tip of the blade. That's 20.7 centimeters. The handle itself is 4.75 inches, which is right around 12 centimeters. So we've got a knife that is really, really nice to hold. Another feature that we have here is this width right here is 0.46 inches, and it gets slightly smaller. Let's open the blade. It gets slightly smaller up here. it makes a nice grip in the hand. You can do the nice squeeze test. Squeeze a knife as hard as you can, a handle, and it should tell you about hot spots. And you might get a couple of hot spots, but not very much because they ground the edges down on the handle here. It's not a square corner. I like that you get this extra traction. Those cuts coming in helps create a nice decorative pattern. And because of those little sharp edges there, that's where, you know, you may or may not, depending on the toughness of your hand, get a slight bit of hot spots in your hand right along there. I didn't really, and I'm mostly a paper pusher. Because of my disability, I don't actually get out and use tools as much as I used to. My hands have become softer over time. And then we've got a nice lanyard hole that goes all the way through because of the back spacer. So it's easy to feed a piece of paracord through there. On the inside, you see, maybe I should take this scale off of here to let you see. So I've taken the knife apart so that you don't have to. So you've got these G10 liners, and look how thin they are. That saves an awful lot of weight. And as you can see, they did a really good job of skeletonizing. They took a lot of the steel out of these liners. And what you've got is, you know, those four, you know, sort of rectangular shapes on that side. And on the frame lock side, you can see they've milled out a little bit less steel here, but, you know, they've reduced the weight regardless. And you can also see right here that they use the wire EDM process to cut that thin line for the frame lock. You don't see that on knives that are 4 or 5 times the cost of these knives. Ganzo, major kudos to you guys for using that wire EDM process. It costs more, it's slower, and yet you guys do it, and it makes a world of difference. I think it makes a knife look a whole lot better, even though on this knife, all that you see is that little section right there. You know, it still makes a big difference, and I like it a lot. Good on you guys. Okay, so I'm going to pause the video for a second while I put the liners back on. Let's take a look at the pocket clip. So you can see it's a pocket clip that comes right to the end of the handle, and then it's sunk in so it won't catch anywhere. Pocket clip is perfectly functional, works really, really well. So that's your pocket, as it were, and once your knife is in your pocket, there you go. You can see a little bit of that steel, and you got that tiny bit sticking out. Not much at all. Let's try some cut tests. Not that we really need them, do we? Oh, by the way. Oh, yes, I haven't been emphasizing the fact that it's a flipper. Not very much. Ganzo doesn't have that many flippers. I really like flippers. We've just got some pine here. Those are nice slow push cuts. It just keeps going. So it can cut this light stuff straight out of the box even after I've done all my testing. Let's try it on some cable. This cable is a pretty heavy duty cable. It comes from an Xbox controller. We've got some steel. I don't think that's aluminum. And then we've got some other metal fibers, some cloth fibers, sort of like paracord strap. And then we've got the copper wires in there as well. It does take a little bit to cut through this stuff, and it just zips through it. And this edge is the original edge. That's about as close up as I'm going to get on this camera. I sure would like to get a better camera. I have put on my Christmas list a USB microscope. So hopefully if I get one of those, I'll be able to give you good shots of before and after on the edge. But this is the after shot, and the edge is pristine. Of course it can cut paracord. What are you thinking? We've got 4 layers of paracord right there, and watch this. No problem zipping through paracord. Yes, as you can see there, it's got all the insides intact. And it just slices through, no problem at all. This knife is a really good choice if you're looking for a flipper, and you haven't been able to buy that many Ganzos because you like buying flippers. You know, this is a good knife to choose. It's a flipper that not only flips, but it looks sharp. Not just the edge, of course. It looks really good doing it. You've got tip up or tip down carry. So take a look at this knife one last time before we get ready to shut this review down. It's a really nice knife. You can get it in black G10. You can get it in orange G10. Everything about this knife suits me. There's nothing about this knife that I would change. Oh, by the way, blade centering. That's as close to perfect as you can get on this knife. I will say is 100% on the buy list. If you're looking for a flipper and you'd like to get a Ganzo, this is your knife. If you're just looking for a Ganzo and you want one that looks cool, this thing should be in your list of choices to make. And as I keep saying to people, Ganzo, do a black wash. Make that number 4. 7494 would be a black wash. So you'd have a black wash bolster, black wash blade. You would get a whole lot of fans and a whole lot of buyers for that if you were to do that. You guys can comment below if you agree that you'd really like to see a black wash, because Ganzo does take a look at these videos. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like the video, please click on like down here in this corner or share down in this corner. Comments, I'd really like those. If you're not yet a subscriber to Canadian Cutting Edge, please subscribe. That'll help me an awful lot in more ways than I can say right now. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. I appreciate it immensely. And remember, always cut towards your chum and not your thumb. Tomorrow, G750. Bye for now.